How radioactive rhinos are fighting poachers, the Rhisotope Project explained. Radioactive horns, a bold new approach to protecting rhinos from poachers. In a daring move to combat poaching, conservation scientists in South Africa are injecting rhino horns with radioactive isotopes. While the doses are too weak to harm the animals, they're strong enough to set off alarms at international borders. The aim? To deter poachers and catch those who still dare to traffic the horns. But here's where it gets controversial. Some argue that this measure alone isn't enough to save the critically endangered species. They stress the importance of cracking down on the criminal networks behind the illicit trade. Over the last 6 years, the Rhisotope Project has tested the safety and efficacy of this approach, first through computational modeling, and later in the field with 20 rhinos. Follow-up studies showed no negative effects from the radiation, equivalent to a human receiving 3 CT scans a year. The radiation won't harm the animals, and no, they won't glow in the dark, assures James Larkin, Chief Science Officer at the Rhisotope Project. The project, a collaboration between nuclear energy officials, conservationist scientists, and international agencies, leverages existing nuclear security infrastructure to combat wildlife trafficking. By using already installed nuclear security infrastructure in novel ways, we can help protect one of the world's most iconic and endangered species, says IAEA Director General Mariano Grossi. With hundreds of rhinos killed each year for their horns, which can fetch up to $60,000 on the black market, this innovative approach offers hope. But is it enough? The debate continues as conservationists explore additional strategies, such as dehorning, to protect these majestic creatures. Radioactive horns, new hope in rhino poaching battle. Imagine a world where rhinos roam free. Their majestic horns a symbol of power and strength, not a coveted prize for poachers. Unfortunately, that's not the reality we live in. Every year, hundreds of rhinos are brutally slaughtered for their horns, leaving behind a trail of death and destruction. But what if we told you that a team of scientists has found a way to deter poachers and protect these incredible creatures? Enter the Rhisotope Project, a groundbreaking initiative that involves injecting radioactive material into rhino horns to track and disrupt the illegal trade. The project, led by the University of the Witwatersrand in South Africa, has been 6 years in the making and has cost around £220,000. The team, which includes Professor James Larkin, has worked tirelessly to develop a safe and effective method of injecting radioactive isotopes into rhino horns. The process is surprisingly simple. A hole is drilled into the horn, a carefully selected radioisotope is inserted, and the hole is sealed. The whole procedure takes just a few minutes, and the rhino is left unharmed. But here's where it gets interesting. The radioactive isotopes can be detected even at low levels, making it possible to track smuggled horns across the world. This could lead to the arrests of poachers and traffickers, disrupting the flow of horns leaving the country and providing valuable data to experts. The project has already shown promising results, with the initial study involving 20 rhinos confirming that the radioactive isotopes can be stored safely inside their horns. The Rhisotope Project has been praised by animal rights activists who see it as a much-needed tool in the fight against poaching. Janie Joseph, the director of the charity Saving the Wild, said that while it's not the endgame, it will certainly help disrupt the flow of horns leaving the country. However, he also emphasized that better legislation and political will are needed to bring an end to the rhino crisis. The project has also received support from the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, which has worked closely with the team to develop the technology. Mariano Grossi, the IAEA Director General, said that the project shows how nuclear science can be used in new ways to address global challenges. But the Rhisotope Project is not the only method being trialed to deter poachers. In the past, different approaches have been tested, including dehorning rhinos and dyeing their horns bright pink. While these methods have shown some promise, they also have their drawbacks. Dehorning rhinos, for example, can impact their behavior and social interactions. The demand for rhino horns on the black market is a major driver of poaching, with the horns often being exported to Asian markets where they are used in traditional medicine and as status symbols. The International Union for Conservation of Nature estimates that the global rhino population has declined from 500,000 at the beginning of the 20th century to just 27,000 today. So, what do you think? Can the Rhisotope Project make a real difference in the fight against poaching? Or do we need to think outside the box and come up with more innovative solutions? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And this is the part most people miss. The Rhisotope Project is not just about protecting rhinos. It's about safeguarding our natural heritage. By protecting these incredible creatures, we're also preserving the ecosystems they inhabit and the biodiversity that depends on them. So let's join forces and support initiatives like the Rhisotope Project that are working tirelessly to protect our planet's most iconic and threatened species. Radioactive rhino horns, South Africa's innovative anti-poaching solution. Imagine a world where protecting endangered species becomes as advanced as modern technology allows. In South Africa, home to the largest rhino population globally, a groundbreaking initiative is taking shape to combat the relentless threat of poaching. But here's where it gets controversial. Scientists are injecting rhino horns with a radioactive substance to track and intercept illegal shipments. This innovative approach, known as the Rhisotope Project, stems from the University of the Witwatersrand in Johannesburg. The project, which took 6 years of rigorous research and cost approximately £220,000, $290,000, aims to ensure that these magnificent creatures are protected without causing them harm. According to James Larkin, a professor involved in the project, at least one rhino is poached every day in South Africa, and unless we take action, this trend will only worsen. The team's pilot study, involving 20 rhinos, demonstrated that the radioactive material used is entirely safe for the animals. This breakthrough means that customs officials can now detect treated horns even when they are hidden within large shipping containers measuring up to 40 feet long. Jamie Joseph, a well-known advocate for rhino conservation, praised the initiative, stating, "While the Rhisotope Project is a significant step forward, it's important to remember that true success will come from robust legislation and strong political commitment. However, this technology will undoubtedly hinder the flow of poached horns out of the country and provide valuable insights into illegal trafficking networks." Every year since 2021, more than 400 rhinos have fallen victim to poaching in South Africa alone, according to conservation charity Save the Rhino. Jessica Babbage, the leader of the Rhisotope Project, emphasized the project's broader significance. "Our mission is to deploy this cutting-edge technology on a larger scale to safeguard rhinos and preserve an essential aspect of our natural heritage." African rhino horns are highly sought after in Asian markets, where they are prized for their supposed medicinal properties and status as a luxury item. White rhinos are classified as threatened, whereas black rhinos face a more critical endangerment status. As we stand at the crossroads of innovation and conservation, the Rhisotope Project represents a promising solution to this pressing global issue. What do you think? Is this a necessary step in the fight against poaching, or do you see potential drawbacks? Share your thoughts in the comments below.